And 3, 2, 1. Whose intro? Oh, we're doing this again.
Welcome back.
Who's the intro?
Not one of y'all.
We're just playing chicken?
Oh my God.
Welcome back to another episode of a Mike Full Podcast. I am Brad, the one who was always destined to say the intro for this episode, joined by Gabe and Johnny over there in the White Sox hat.
Hello.
Johnny, I know we explained it before we started recording, but you want to explain yourself?
I'm a big Luis Robert fan.
There you go. There you go.
You're funny.
Yeah.
And the
All
hat
right.
was $6.
Oh, okay. Well,
That's the real truth.
it's about what White Sox hats should cost. So big week. Where do we want to start?
I guess the most recent thing would be the UFC.
Yeah. I mean, did you guys watch anything past the last two fights?
I forgot about him, so I only caught like the last round of the last fight.
The good round.
Yes.
Round.
I was passed out on the couch because I went to the beach that day.
I also was, but I rewatched the last two fights. Well, I didn't go to the beach, but I was also asleep when these happened. I don't know why. This card just drug ass. Like, I tried watching it and I turned it on and it was like second fight at like 8 or 9 at night. And I was like, I'm not fucking staying up to watch this shit, and turned it off. But glad I went back because Chickadees, I think is how you pronounce it. I can never say that dude's name right. Nasty sidekick on Cub Swanson. I think like fucking cracked his ribs or some shit, sent him just down, and all he could do was cover and take ground and pound. Kind of gross. And then however you say that last name with that fucking elbow. Well, I'm gonna call him Goro because he reminds me of that character from Mortal Kombat.
That's fair. I like his hair.
Yeah. I think that was Goro's hair. Am I
Yeah, the
not
big
wrong?
muscle dude with like
With
arms,
four arms. Yeah. Yep. Same hair. Same exact hair.
Yeah, that was nasty.
Yeah.
I'm glad Gabe was passed out on the couch because I screamed for that one.
Ooh. Yeah, gross elbow. Real gross elbow.
Mm-hmm. It was a nice one too because he got him with the right front out like a just normal elbow, and then he came back with the
Spun all the way
spinning back.
around.
Yeah.
Yep.
It was
It
beautiful.
was-
And
so
that he
now-
was out instantly.
It's done.
Yeah. Like just
So- That means
Lights out.
Dom has now lost 3 straight fights.
Oof.
who's his last loss to? Was it Teixeira, right?
Blackowitz fought Jan.
That's right.
Yeah, he fought Jan, and then before that he fought John Jones. That was where he like tore both ACLs or whatever.
Can we see like a similar situation that Tyron went through? Woodley?
I think
Kind of like losing to such a great fighter in the beginning where you're kind of like, okay, well, there's still a chance. And then just continuously lose to title contenders. Like,
I don't know. See, because he was hauling ass and doing really great, and then fought John Jones and arguably beat him, right?
yeah.
But blew both of his legs out and has only lost since then.
Yeah.
So is it injury? Because he looked great, and I thought he beat John Jones. And then, well, I mean, this last one, he just kind of got clapped, but he was getting beat up prior to this too. Like he was in bottom position, taking a lot of shots on the ground. I don't know. Maybe that fight with John just shook him so much. Maybe the leg injury. I don't know.
I
I'm
think
just
it's like,
speculating.
sometimes it could be a momentum thing and he just might not be able to get his momentum back.
Yeah, maybe Dom just sucks. Who knows?
Dude, when you said it drew on, I'm looking at like the outcomes and just all decisions except for a disqualification in the first.
Yep.
And then more decisions, a draw,
A draw. And then these
and then
two.
two amazing KOs.
You had to get through a fucking slog to
Like
get to this one.
you were rewarded if you stayed on. And
Yeah.
we still saw it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, thanks Reddit. But yeah, that
'Cause I rewatched. I just saw the finishing for. Is it? I'm with you. Giga. Is it Giga?
shit,
How do you say at least the first one?
fuck if I know, dude.
Giga.
Goro. Goro is what you're thinking.
And dude, that
Ara.
on Swanson was just so, it looked painful.
Oh, you're talking
Yeah,
about
yeah.
Chikadize. I thought you were talking
Yeah.
about the Goro.
Oh.
Yeah, no, just a real fucking nasty sidekick. A minute into the fight.
Yeah, those are always pretty painful to watch. I just
Yeah.
can only imagine the pain you're going through when that like shot hits your throat. I'm assuming it's an organ.
I mean, yeah, it's pretty much like just fucking kidneys and liver and just a bunch of shit you don't want to get hit right there under your ribs. And that was right where the kick landed. He's going to be peeing blood probably until tomorrow. Well, no, wait, today's Tuesday, huh? He's definitely done peeing blood.
They're shitting it at least. But I guess it's going to be Jan and what do you guys call him?
Goro?
Goro.
Yeah. Goro,
so-
I guess, because who else is there for him to fight?
Yeah.
We're so top heavy in so many divisions now. It's so sad.
Yeah. For a lot of divisions, I just feel like there's a stone wall, and it gets harder and harder to like pay attention to division fights that aren't title fights. Just like no, like similar to this, because you're just like, but are they dominant yet? Like, are they even ready?
Yeah. And that's what it feels like for a lot of divisions right now.
Yeah.
Like, but maybe featherweight. Featherweight's exciting. They have a lot of wild shit. Bantamweight too, I guess. Pretty exciting. But everything like above that is just so dominant. Like,
Yeah.
what do you do?
Yeah.
Anyway.
Now it's starting to look like flyweight in the women's division is like the one and true
Starting to get a little
up for grabs with now Rose and Wei Li and stuff like that. So, but
yeah, it's only up for grabs as of last week.
yeah, that's what I mean. It's just like insane.
So yeah, and then we do have a fight next week. Michelle Watterson, who was she supposed to fight originally, and then they had to drop out.
I don't think they were on the card.
And they stepped up to fight because of
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. TJ got injured.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I want to say same with Cerrone. He wasn't supposed to fight. I don't think. I don't know. I just know I was looking at this card last week and it wasn't filled. There's only one fight on it.
Yeah, they're just starting to fucking piece together cards.
I am excited for that Neil Magny Jeff Neal fight though.
Oh
no,
was like
I'm excited for the one.
Amanda Hebus and Angela Hill. We all know.
Dude, I don't know who to choose.
Yeah, we all know. We all know which one you're excited for, Gabe.
There's also Maurice Lazy Eye Green.
Oh yeah, I forgot he's got a funky eye. Oh, this one's actually got like
Pretty solid card.
it's low key banger. Yeah,
Yeah.
I like this card. It starts at 5 o'clock. The main card does.
Yeah, it should be a good one. It's one of those ones that they just prep you for the pay-per-view.
Yeah, which is coming up week after that, right?
Yeah.
Cool.
So I'm excited for that one, even though Leon and Nate, it's not happening on that card.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
still should be a good
surprise, surprise. Nate got injured.
one. Yep. I mean, but now we got Tony Ferguson as the co-main. So
Oh, Tony's coming in?
yeah, no, he was he was already on the card, but he was the fight before the co-main.
Eh.
But now he's the co-main. It's
So they
him
bumped
versus
them all up.
Benil Darush.
Oh, Dariush.
Yeah.
Thick boy. I like to call him thick boy.
I am excited on that card though for the Shane Burgos Edson Barbosa fight.
All right. Well, we've got people locking in the NBA. What am I thinking? What am I saying? Finals are starting to get locked in.
Playoffs.
People are locked in. Yes.
Playoffs.
Playoffs. Thank you. That was the word I was looking for the entire fucking time. Playoff spots are getting locked in the NBA. We have 76ers and Nets definitely going, and Jazz, Suns, Nuggets, and Clippers are all locked in as well.
If you were to tell me, I mean, obviously injuries play the biggest
What
part.
if I told you?
If you were to tell me the Lakers would not be
Right?
the fourth clinched team, I'd be like, what happened? And injuries. That's what happened.
Yeah, injuries. And the Warriors are creeping up. We're in 8. We're on the bubble now.
I said I think we'd make the 8 seed.
Not
So-
confirmed
No, it is not.
because of the play-in. Well, regardless if we
what
get
did,
the 8 seeds because the play-in.
What
I
did
thought
Steph
what
finish?
is the plan is 8 and 9 or what is it?
No, it's like 7, 8, 9, 10, which I don't like. And then LeBron returned this past week, which was one of the bigger things. Him and LaMelo both returned to their teams, and LeBron was asked about his thoughts on the play-ins, and he said whoever came up with that shit needs to be fired, which makes sense. It's like
8
these
and
guys
9
like
playing is fine.
even then it's like you have a whole season to grind for the playoffs, but now like you make the playoffs and now they're like, no, you have to play these 2 shit teams that didn't make the playoffs to secure your spot. Because now it's like, yeah, okay, I mean, if it's close, it makes more sense. But if it's like a couple games off, they still have to play, and even then, it's like now they have to play an extra game, while the 1 seed gets an extra however many days rest.
Yeah. So what did Steph end April with for 3-pointers?
I think it was like 96 or so, 95, 96. Yeah.
Oh, okay, I get it now.
Choked it at the end, dickhead.
So 7 and 8 play, 9 and 10 play. The losers of the 9 and 10 is eliminated, but the winner goes on to play the loser of the 7-8, and then the winner of that plays the winner of the 7th and 8th original. Wait, what?
That's some of the dumbest shit I've ever heard in my entire fucking life.
Yeah, it's dumb.
That's actually stupid.
No. Okay, now I get it. I'm sorry. The winner of the 7th, 8th automatically just get the 7th seed?
Yeah.
Okay. And then the winner of the 9-10 play the loser for the 8th seed. That's what it is.
Which does make sense to me.
Okay. But it makes I thought they had to play again against the winner of the 7-8, and I was like,
oh no,
that's just so fucking stupid. Why are we going around in circles?
Yeah.
That makes
That's kind of dumb.
But like, but like, let's just say the season ended now, right?
Yeah.
So, and like, if you're looking at the East, the Celtics are 4 games up on the Wizards,
Yes.
and would be and potentially losing their spot while they're 4 games ahead. And then even in the West, it's the Blazers are 5 games up on the Spurs, so it's like they could drop to the Spurs too. Which that's why it's like, they grind for 82 games, like.
Yeah, it is kind of like you grind to get what was a sure playoff spot, only to maybe lose it in a wild card game.
If it was last year, where like the season got cut, so they're like, oh, all these teams, if you're potentially going to make the playoffs, like you come back and play like a little tiny season. But it's like it's back to how it was. Like it's no difference. Like no games are getting canceled. I don't think any games got canceled or postponed. Maybe like the start of the season, like a game got moved, but.
Now, are they only doing the play-in for this year, or are they talking about that being a permanent rule?
I don't know. I hope it's not permanent because it's pretty dumb. Because like, what's the point? It's like there's no point to it. There's like, what's the point of the season? Just have all these guys, like, just have the whole thing be a play-in.
True.
I mean, that is technically what the regular season is.
Exactly.
One big play-in for the postseason.
Yeah.
So like looking just at it, it looks like Raptors, Wizards are fighting for the last play-in spot, as well as the Spurs and the Pelicans.
Okay. So even to bring this conversation further, let's look at 27 and 38 right now. Raptors somehow overtake the Wizards and can still make the playoffs with that shit record.
Yeah.
Yeah. I want to say the Rockets officially were eliminated from contention.
Oh, that makes sense.
And maybe the Pistons.
Well, that's
I'm not 100% sure. Yeah, I there was a team that clinched not making it.
Sounds like the 16 and 49 Rockets.
Yeah. But I was going to ask Johnny or Brad as well. Between the Pelicans and the Spurs, who would you rather not play? Like, who do you think would have the upper hand against another team in that scenario of a one game, because that's how it is in the tournament. And then the same for the Raptors and Wizards.
It's tough because you said the Pelicans and Spurs.
Yeah, Pelican and Spurs and Wizards and Raptors. Who's going to give the most trouble in the plan?
It's tough because I mean the Pelicans are young,
Mm-hmm.
younger, which could also be their downfall. And the Spurs are just, I mean, they have Greg Popovich, one of the greatest coaches of all time, if not the greatest coach of all time. And like, it's like, like he's going to come up with some kind of game plan to just slow, like he's going to make whoever they play his game.
Mm-hmm.
Like he's not going to go play, fast ball, whatever. He's going to play that gritty kind of game and probably make the playoffs, honestly.
Yeah, honestly, that was going to be my choice. I'd rather play the Pelicans, a younger, more athletic team, but I think the Spurs are just so well coached for a one game. It's scary.
And on the other hand, if we fall, I wouldn't want to play us. You got Steph going for like 40 a game, and Steve Kerr, one of the better coaches again. Like he'll come up with something. We got guys like everyone's shooting pretty good for us, like as of late. So yeah, it's tough. I just don't like it in general.
Yeah.
Like I wouldn't. I'd rather have them just you secure. If you make the playoffs after the season, you're in the playoffs. Like why should you have to fight for
Yeah.
And on the other side, I don't know. I guess the Wizards, just because of Russell Westbrook going off with his averaging a triple-double again.
Well, because the Wizards have looked solid in some games this year. For me, the Raptors, I feel like the games they win are games they should have won. But I feel like for the Wizards, no game they should win. And yet to have like roughly like 46% win percentage is like, wow, honestly, I'm pretty surprised, to be quite honest. Like, even to be close to 500, I'm like, okay, I see you.
But a lot of the Wizards is just like Beal taking over or Westbrook taking over, and they're in the East, which is a lot of like lesser teams.
Yeah.
So, I mean, and the Raptors are practically the same team they were last year, who surprised everyone and took the number 1 seed.
Mm-hmm.
I know they lost like Marc Gasol, but I mean, they're still like the same young, like pretty solid team. I don't know. It's like a toss up.
I just think the Wizards would have a better chance against Pacers, Hornets, Celtics as it stands right now than the Raptors.
In that scenario, like 10 through how it is now, I think the Celtics make it. And I want the Hornets to make it.
That'd be pretty cool.
It's just going to be exciting, especially with LaMelo being back.
On the other side, I would say it's going to be the Blazers, and then I think us. I think it stays with the 7-8, similar to what you just said. On the East.
Yeah, I can see the Grizzlies sneaking in and taking it over us, but not that to play us.
Yeah,
like they would have to get the 8 seed and beat the Blazers, just because I guess like they're more of like that, like young athletic kind of team. Like you see with their point guard Ja, who just like every night is just like a highlight. So yeah, if they have to play us, then we'll take it. But if it's like if they beat the Blazers to get the 7 seed, and then we have to play the Blazers, that'd be a tougher one for us.
Yeah,
just because Damian and Steph are. If the next closest point guard to Steph is probably Dame, as far as like his shooting ability.
I can see that.
Yeah, it should be fun. The last couple weeks.
Do we want to do MLB or draft questions?
We can do MLB.
Okay. All right. Well, we did have another exciting week of the MLB. The boys are on top. Both of our teams, first place in their division. The A's by 2 games as of recording. The Giants a game and a half as of recording because we just obliterated the Colorado Rockies, I think. Was the final score on it? Was it 12-4?
Yes.
Yeah, 12-4
Yeah.
final. And then the Dodgers dropped the first game of their doubleheader today. So we do have one more game for redemption for both teams. But as of right now, we are a game and a half up on the Dodgers, and it feels so fucking good.
Wow, that is sexy. Even
We're actually ahead of the Dodgers are in third right now.
yeah, behind the Padres.
Hey,
Yeah,
I have-
behind the Padres.
have they lost that many against the Padres? The Dodgers are fucking on a backslide right now.
They're 3-7
are-
in the last 10.
Yeah, the Dodgers lost their last series against Cincinnati, who played like dog shit up until they played them. And
Mhm.
now they've been winning a lot of games. Actually, I
Oh.
think they were winning the series before that.
I want to say they got swept by the Padres.
And no, the
Or
Padres
maybe one game.
Padres won the first one, I think.
No, this last series, this last week. Because they played them within the last 10 games, I want to say.
Yeah, so no, the Dodgers and the Padres played a 4-game series before the Reds, and then the Padres took 3 out of the 4. Dodgers took game 3.
Yeah.
But they lost to the Reds and the Brewers, who the Brewers have been playing really good baseball. So that makes sense. But yeah, number 1 team in the league dropping 2 straight series. They are 3 for their last 10 games.
Cool. Yes,
That's rough.
that's so bad.
That's rough. That's rough. And who
Yeah.
are they?
And I was worried for a bit because when we played the Padres,
Yes.
it looked like we were going back. It was going back to last year where like the
Yes.
relief pitching was just shitting the bed.
Yes.
So I was pretty pissed after that series. I'm like, come on. Like I think
took one.
We took 2 the first time we played them,
Yes.
or did we sweep?
No, I think we swept the first time we played them.
And I was
Oh,
like,
no. We took 2.
was it 2?
Yeah, we took 2.
We might have swept because that's when they lost Tatis in game 1.
Oh, that was we did sweep the Padres. That's
Yeah.
right.
So I was excited to see how we played against them full strength.
No, we didn't.
And
We lost game 2.
okay. Yeah, I wanted to see how we did against them full strength. And I mean, the relief pitching just fucked us. Like it was just reminded me of last year where it's like our bats were hot, but then nothing else was.
It's still not bad. I think we still have one of the better ERAs per team.
Yeah.
So it's not terrible. Like
Yeah,
we're still not doing terrible. I still think we're number 2 in the league for ERA, team ERA.
Yeah. That series just scared me a bit.
Me and Gabe were actually talking about it before you hopped on the call. The Dodgers are slumping as a whole, but Max Muncy is something spectacular. He is gotten 1 hit in his last 30 plate appearances. 1. Since they started playing the Reds, he has gotten 1 hit. Has gotten hit by pitch twice and has walked 8 times. Struck out 12. He's playing like ass this year. What did I say he had? 207 batting average or something like that, Gabe?
I think so. Yeah, it was
Playing like-
awful.
Absolute anus. Absolute anus.
On the other side, Brad, he called out the Nationals, and
He
they're
did.
back in first.
I still don't think they're good. They're not off my shit list yet.
Yeah, so if you guys missed it, and Gabe, I know you weren't here last week. Every time Brad's called a person or a team out, they start doing fantastic.
So it's the opposite effect of me.
Yeah, of
It's
you.
the exact opposite.
Yeah, that's because he called out. Who'd he call out? Who'd you call out first, Brad?
I don't remember.
He was
Pitcher?
shitting on.
No,
was a-
Bad Bum was the second time.
Yeah, okay. He was shitting on Madison Bumgarner.
I was shitting on the Red Sox preseason.
And then the Red Sox preseason, they're in first place. He shits on Madison Bumgarner.
Throws a no.
He throws a no-no, unofficial no-no. And I was like, "Hey, Brad, so who are you calling out now?" And he's like, "The Nationals are pretty shit, and now they're in first place in their division, which their division's pretty ass." But still.
All right, we got to keep it going. Who are you calling out this week?
I'm still calling out the Nationals. Okay, so let's talk about the NL East. I don't
Pretty
know
bad.
if they're all bad because Nationals are the only team at 500 in that entire
Oh,
division.
I stand corrected, Brad. You called out the Braves.
The Braves, yeah, and they're still playing like ass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, to be fair, you call out their hitting, and then that same day they went off for like 4 homers.
That's true. That's true. And I still think Ozuna is like a
Acuna.
home run leader or something like that, or a leader in OPS or something like that this season. Like he's one of the leaders in one of the like power numbers. So he is doing pretty good.
And I think Acuna is leading in homers, I want to say.
Okay, maybe that was what I was. Yeah, Acuna's leading in homers and Ozuna's leading in OPS. I think like it's wild. Those two are doing great. The rest of the team really sucks anus.
Yeah.
Like, they really are not doing great. I want to say their last couple, they're winning right now against the Nationals. See, but that's what I wanted to talk about. So the Nationals are the only team at 500 in that entire division, right? Is it because that division sucks, or is it because they're beating up on each other?
Can it be both?
It might be both. I'm starting to think it's both. I don't know, man. I've seen some good performances out of the Nats pitching between Strasburg and Scherzer. Scherzer, especially the other day, threw a 9-inning shutout and then didn't do any post-game interviews or anything because he had to run to the hospital because his wife was giving birth. Maybe he didn't want to be in the room for it, so he's like, "I'll throw a perfect game or a complete game." I think he got like 3 hits or 4 hits or something like that in the game. 1 earned run, I believe. So pretty fucking good performance from their pitching anyway. A couple of their starters, but outside of that, this whole league, like I don't really even know who to talk about outside of, Jazz Chisholm. But that's not even for baseball. That's just, man's got swag.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
It's pretty bad. It's pretty bad. One of the things I do want to talk about is Amir Garrett. I don't know if you guys saw him scream at Anthony Rizzo. He's fucking pitching in like I want to say it was 3-2. I think John Boy did a video on it too. I want to say it was 3-2 and the Reds were down in like the 8th inning and Rizzo came up to bat and he struck him out and then screamed at him and called him a motherfucker. Like he walked toward him before the at bat and like said something to him and then like walked back and then screamed at him and called him a motherfucker after he struck him out. And then it started a bench clear. The bench is cleared. And now Amir Garrett is suspended for 7 games.
Oh,
yeah. I get that the Reds were coming in trying to be the cockswingingest team in baseball. Like we talked about how they were trying to be super cocky and super badass. But then you sucked ass for like 2 straight weeks and you shut the fuck up and then nobody cared anymore. Now you can't come back talking big, especially if you're losing in a game and your relief pitcher calls one of the baseball sweethearts a motherfucker. Like you're kind of acting like a bunch of fucking jackasses. Castellanos is still doing good though. I want to say he's a home run leader, but I don't know. The Reds are a conundrum to me.
that's interesting. I wonder if there has to have been like
History, I'm sure.
Well, yeah, and like off, like something that wasn't picked up by
cameras. Yeah.
Yeah, because and that's pretty shitty because like he's getting but like you don't just do that unannounced. Like Rizzo's not just gonna be like relaxing. He's like motherfucker, like going after him before the even pitch. Like there had to have been something else, and Rizzo got away with it.
Yep.
Full-heartedly.
I gotta go and watch the John Boy breakdown. He probably talks about all the history, or I guarantee you, like fucking the last time they played each other, they were yelling at each other or something like that. Like Rizzo got in his face or whatever, or something stupid.
I like a dugout. Like as you can hear Rizzo screaming "skank whore."
Yeah.
In a Jersey accent, your mother's a skank.
Yeah, Rizzo fucked Amir Garrett's wife. Yeah, but it's weird shit. Anyway, that's enough on that.
Another reason to hate the Astros, they once again ruined Ass Hat. Yeah,
it's all right though. You guys are still on top. That's good.
Oh right? Yeah. We're. I feel like it's similar to you guys. I mean, I really haven't been watching the games I have watched of yours. The only thing that I take away is the same thing that I take away from us is holy shit, our pitching's doing actually decent,
right?
Like, and it's like how it's been for us. We're just kind of like, oh my God, like, you start to see runs fly, but I think the difference from both our pitching is they don't let scary situations overwhelm them like they did in the past. At least for us, anytime a pitcher got like 2 runs earned in an inning and it had like bases loaded, it just went to shit. Like it just started spiraling out of control from there. And you're just like, oh my God, dude, like just throw a strike. And they're just so great. They're throwing the balls, like things are flying. Like they don't even know what the fuck's going on. This year, so many times where I'm like, oh fuck, here we go again. Like we're done. And they get out of them. They leave 2 or 3 stranded. Like it's just insane how much composure they've been able to keep throughout this year. At least that's what I've noticed for us. For you guys, I just see that you have better pitching. I'm not entirely sure if that was your issue in the past and it's better.
Oh
Or
yeah, it was our bullpen was really bad, and it helps that
Okay.
our starters are going really, really deep into games now. Like it's
Mhm.
not
Yeah.
often that they pull someone out before the 5th inning. That could be why. Who knows? Maybe our relief staff just woke the fuck up and got off their ass and started playing good ball. I have no idea what's going on.
I know
But-
for us, we have a little competition to see who's going to be our closer, either
Nope.
Trevino or is it going to be Diekman? Personally, if I had to have a say, I would say Trevino 100% of the time. Diekman still hasn't shown me that he is reliable in a clutch situation. That man has like zero control of his pitches at times, and it scares the fuck out of me. Like it's either a beautiful strike, beautiful movement, or it's like a ridiculous ball, and you're getting like 4 of those in a row, and you're just like, oh my god, wow, like you already have someone on base. This is so serious. What are you fucking doing?
Yeah.
And so I think that's how we become a little bit more pedestrian in the last 10 games. Is I think our like relieving and closing hits, like the heaters, have just kind of faded a minute.
They're kind of
So,
letting it go.
yeah, so I'm kind of like, oh shit, kind of keeping an eye on our second
Yeah.
half pitching.
Now let's talk some weird injuries
Oh god, Matt Olson is still playing and played in that game.
with a fucking disgusting.
Like, oh, I know.
XI.
Every
Yeah,
time I have to see it, it's like,
he said he can't see out of it. Like, how the fuck are you playing, dude? And so he wasn't taking BP, like he was down in the cage or something like that, like in team only area, and
Mhm.
fucking must have been doing some weird drill because it bounced off the cage and hit him in the eyeball.
yeah.
And yeah, his eye is all the way swollen closed. And who fucking busted their hand playing video games?
Lazardo.
Luzardo broke a pinky
We
playing
get
a
Mike
video.
Myers back, and then we lose Lazardo. Like that's just days right there.
Oh my god, dude! Playing
So-
video games too. What the
Yeah.
fuck was he up to?
Nothing. I don't know. What is extreme streaming?
Yeah, yeah.
Nothing
slamming
pisses
his
me off
screen.
more.
Streaming.
Extreme streaming, man.
Oh,
Yeah.
extreme. They said stream streaming. Is
Hey,
he stream
there-
streaming?
Low key, there are a bunch of baseball players that stream.
Yeah.
There's a lot of NBA players that stream.
Just don't say any derogatory terms against Jewish people.
Exactly, it'll ruin your life. But yeah, that's unfortunate.
Brad, you gonna go to any AAA games out there?
As
they're
soon as they
doing it.
sell, fucking tickets, dude, the tickets
haven't
are
started?
for sale.
Because
They
it starts Thursday.
Their season starts at less than exactly on Thursday, and they haven't started selling tickets yet.
Huh. Well, we did call Joey Bart up. I don't know if you saw that.
Oh, did we?
Yeah, because of the Gosman injury.
Gosman got injured?
Yeah.
What
So
the
he got his COVID shot, they were saying, and he has like side effects. So they just threw him on IL and they called it Bart.
That's a weird guy.
I
to
think
pull
they
up
said he
when
should be
Gosman-
good in a couple of days, but
Oh.
I think they did it because we have the doubleheader today.
Right. Which makes sense. That makes sense.
Because it looks like Posey's he's not starting in the second game.
or maybe he's not starting at
It's-
catcher. Maybe he'll
it's
play
'cause-
first or something.
No, he's not playing.
He's not.
No, it said he might pinch hit.
Oh, weird. Because he's been playing really well.
Yeah, he has 7 homers.
Yeah.
'Cause he homered today.
Oh,
Yeah, he's
shit.
not,
So
he's
I
not
think
playing. It's Casali. Casali's starting, and then Belt is still playing at first.
So one thing I do want to talk about, and I guess it's kind of the last thing really for baseball, unless you guys have any other stories. I can't really see anything. The Yankees finally stopped slumping as hard as they were, and they're kind of running in the pack again. And the Red Sox are slowly sliding back. Blue Jays are starting to hit. But the one I really want to talk about is the Tigers. Have you guys seen the Tigers record?
Poopy?
Tigers.
Tigers are 8-21.
Oh,
Tigers have not had a worse start since 2003 when AJ Hinch was their catcher.
The boy AJ.
And he comes back to be manager. Is he just bad luck for the Tigers is what I'm asking? Like This is their worst start since 2003, the one year the Tigers had AJ Hinch to catch for them.
Wow.
Yeah. I was listening to a podcast this morning. Do you want to hear when they played the Yankees what their strikeout percentage was?
Oh goodness.
53% of the time the Tigers came up to bat, they struck out. 53% of the time.
I would say 90.
So when you sent that stat earlier today, I thought you meant they were striking them out. And I was like, oh, okay.
No.
Good. No, that's horrendous.
Yeah. They struck out 53% of the time.
Oh, that's bad.
That's bad.
And in your Braves news, Brad, their pitcher just hit a grand slam.
Oh. Great.
That's how the bats come alive. You get the pitch to do it.
How the fuck? So what are they? Oh, 6-0 against the Nats? Gross. That's fucking gross.
The baseball gods are like, what do we do? He called out both of them. He's like, we got one. Pitch a grand slam.
All right. Well, I guess the Braves do good when we talk about them. I'm still calling out the Braves. The Braves are my call out for this week too. Do better. Or do we want to call out the Tigers?
Oh,
I don't think there's any.
It's all you, man.
I don't think there's any hope for the Tigers.
Can you just do a season-long one? I'm going to place my bet real quick on my bookie.
Nah, I don't want the Tigers to win the fucking World Series. Are you kidding me? No. I'm sticking with the Braves. Fuck you, Braves. You still haven't played good enough in the last week to impress me and take you off my shit list. So we'll see. We'll see where the Braves are next week, and then maybe we'll start talking about the Tigers. Let's talk about the draft.
Let's talk about the draft.
Gabe, you had some questions.
Yes. The first question I wanted to ask you guys was, what was your biggest surprise faller? Someone you just did not see falling that low.
Penny Sewell.
Oh.
Yeah, I forget who it was, but there was like 3 or 4 teams that drafted wide receivers over him that like statistically, tackles that were over him.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to say like statistically, he should have gone earlier.
No, you were right. That 2 wide receivers went ahead of him. And then
Right. Okay. Got it.
I agree. I didn't think that was going to be one that got past Cincy or even Miami, to be quite honest.
Right.
I even had I was like, maybe even Atlanta could take him. He's just so good. Mine is Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah from Notre Dame. I was just so surprised that the Browns were able to steal him at 52. I mean, someone that I was like, at 17, dude, I would 100% take this linebacker, especially with like Micah Parsons falling. I thought, oh man, this is the clear like LB1 now. And there was quite a bit of linebackers that went before him. Jamin Davis, Zavin Collins, like linebackers are solid, but me personally, I just didn't think he would be the 3rd or 4th linebacker taken.
Yeah, because you were even talking high about him, like you thought he might go in the 1st.
Yeah, I was like, dude, oh my gosh, I would be happy if he fell to us, and it's like he fell to us twice.
Yeah, he really did.
Like, what the hell?
Yeah, when we traded up, I wasn't sure if it was for him or for Maury. I knew it was for one of them, but I wasn't sure which one.
Yeah.
But my surprise, honestly, is Justin Fields.
Yeah.
Like a guy that was debated as the number 2 quarterback, who are the Jets going to take, him or Wilson? And then who are the Niners going to take, Fields or is it Jones or Lance? And I know they were kind of like saying it like last week that he was probably going to fall. And then like a bunch of mock drafts came out projecting him to the Patriots at 15. And I was like, it's just a load of shit. They're just trying to get their shit. Just trying to make stuff interesting, whatever. And Niners don't take him. I was like, all right, Falcons are trading back or they're taking him. No, they take Pitts. I was like, all right, the Bengals have to trade back. Like someone's going to trade up. No one traded up until the Bears at 11, which I'm surprised because the Broncos passed on him.
That's okay. That's what I was gonna bring up right now after you were
Yeah.
done.
So yeah, that
Why? How do you? I mean, you have Teddy B. He ain't all that, dude. Oh my gosh, I just don't get why you don't take
I
Justin Fields.
at the same time, it's like it's Teddy Bridgewater, but I mean, he's not the worst. I mean, he's going to compete with Drew Lock, which a lot of people still like Drew Lock. But at the same, like, yeah, it's Justin Fields. Like, you take Justin Fields there, but
Me personally,
like,
because this is how I view it as like,
if that, yeah, they have to build their whole team, you know, like, and they're like, if they think they could, even when they won the Super Bowl, that
it
was
was
off their defense.
Yeah, it was off defense.
Manning played like complete shit in the Super Bowl.
My viewpoint is that the upside of Teddy B to Drew Lock, there could be one, you know, like if Teddy B turns out better. But I just think the upside of Justin Fields surpasses both of those by a mile.
Mm.
But I agree. They won off defense. You get Patrick Surtain,
The best.
arguably one of the, you know, it's either cornerback 1 or 2. You know what I mean? It's 1A and 1B.
Mm-hmm.
And so that one I could see. I understand it. I was just surprised personally.
Yeah, I don't mind the Bears doing it. Like, good for them. Like, they've needed
I'm
a high caliber.
now.
Yeah, they needed a high caliber quarterback like this. Like, what was it? However many years, 4 years, 5 years ago, you picked Mitch Trubisky over Deshaun Watson, over Patrick Mahomes, which Patrick Mahomes wasn't ranked that high, but like you passed on Deshaun Watson right there. Well, he was the clear cut, like number 2 or number 1 quarterback in that draft. And you passed on him, take Mitch Trubisky. Like, your fans had to suffer with that for, you know, the next 3 years. Now this is kind of like making it up to them in a way. Like, okay, look, now we got our quarterback of the future. Hopefully, I know Jaime was shitting on him going to the Bears, but I'm like, they've never had a good quarterback, but is that the quarterback or is that the team? Like,
yeah,
the quarterback. Like, they traded for Jay Cutler, and like, you know, but I hope he does good. I mean, he has receivers, so the O line. I think they did sign someone, or they did draft someone in the second. I want to say quarterback. Or did they? Are they the team that got Jenkins?
Yep.
Okay, yeah. So they got Jenkins, who was another arguable first-round pick. So they protect their quarterback. They have one of the better receivers in the league in Allen Robinson, a young receiver in Mooney. So yeah, let's see what they do. I think they'll go out and get one more receiver, especially with Miller being on the trade block.
Yeah.
So we'll see what they do. I mean, I'm excited for that one.
No, I agree. The next question I wanted to bring up to you guys was, who's your surprise riser? Someone that you thought went way ahead of the curve. I can get it started. For me, the New York Giants selecting Kadarius Toney. I like Kadarius Toney. I do. I liked him through this whole draft process, but like, to be would it be 4th wide receiver taken just did not bode well for me at all. I granted, you traded back and you got a 1st-round pick, so right then and there you're already winning this draft pick. Like, no matter who you chose, you're already winning the draft pick. But like, to pick Kadarius Toney, to me personally, after already having wide receivers and then signing Kenny Golladay in the offseason, it just was a huge head scratcher on why that was the wide receiver you chose. Personally, I think Rashad Bateman would have been a better choice, or just so many other wide receivers that I think I just had ahead of Kadarius Toney. Personally, also kind of upset this is where Kadarius Toney went.
Yeah, I'm on the side of like, you just picked up Kenny Golladay.
You have Sterling Shepard,
Darius Slayton. Yeah, exactly. It's like, did you need that? Shouldn't you protect your quarterback or get like defensive help? Like, I thought there was a lot more they could have done.
All gas, no brakes.
Also, what pissed me off was I heard the thing that drove Jacksonville to draft Travis Etienne was because they thought Kadarius Toney was going to be there for them and they were going to take him.
Which wouldn't make sense either.
It really wouldn't have either.
To me, yeah.
So
I
I
don't know.
so supposedly they're thinking Travis Etienne is going to play the role that Kadarius Toney was going to play. Which I'm like, I guess. I don't know.
was like,
Both of those don't make sense to me at all.
Yeah. Because if you look at the Jags, it's like, yeah, you want to get your quarterback more weapons. How about you give him some protection?
Yeah.
And then he has. I mean, it's not like he's going in with nothing. You know, he's gonna have DJ Chark. He's gonna have Marvin Jones.
Corey Davis is the Jets. It's going to be
Marvin Jones.
Yes.
And Laviska, who played. Laviska had 700 yards as a rookie. Like, he's a baller. And now, and they added, like, we were coming in the offseason, we would have thought like it was just going to be those two guys into next season, Laviska and Chark. But then they added a veteran in Marvin Jones, a solid veteran. Like, he played really good for the Lions.
Yeah.
Just this last year, he was going off. So, yeah, I mean, a lot of stuff didn't make sense in this draft.
No.
Speaking of, do you need to ask who my riser is?
Who?
Alex Leatherwood to the
Oh,
Las Vegas
yeah.
Raiders.
Yeah.
Have you guys been able to sit down and think about this? And
I like-
why the fuck he got picked.
I like
Oh
it.
yeah, we like him a lot. I guess there was reports that Baltimore had him in the first round.
They said a couple teams in the 20s.
Yeah, all had him in the first.
Yeah. I mean, he's the best, like I told Gabe, he's the best run blocker in this draft. And what did we do good last year? Pass blocking. What hurt us last year was our running.
Mm-hmm.
So we get the best pass blocker in the draft. Run blocker in the draft. We have Tom Cable, who's proven as a great offensive line coach, to hopefully coach him up and help his pass block. So I don't mind it at all.
I'm feeling better about it, but at the moment I was very upset. I would agree with Brad. I had Christian Darrisaw and Tevin Jenkins higher than Alex Leatherwood. I had him more in the Liam Eichenberg kind of spot of the second round. Hearing that he was going to go in the first round, I'm like, okay, that kind of makes sense if that's your guy. But me personally, I'm with Brad. I had multiple offensive tackles ahead of him. And to me personally, I'm like, he better be better than those two, or I'm going to be kind of like,
Yeah.
those are the ones I had ahead of him, and kind of pretty upset.
He's got to perform now.
Yeah, there is now a chip. There's some added weight to his shoulders. He's got to perform.
Yeah, and he only went to the team with the most forgiving and kind-hearted fan base. I'm sure they'll let him live it down if he has a rough year or two.
Oh yeah. The only positive I have is a candidate for the biggest faller was Trayvon Moehrig, and getting him in the second round, I felt like helped even this pick out. It almost seemed like if you were to swap them, I would have been fine with it. And so I would have been more upset if we weren't able to get a Moehrig or a Jeremiah Went. And I was like, okay, now I'm livid because you had an opportunity to get those and you overdrafted and missed out.
They probably could have drafted backwards and gotten the same picks.
That's what I mean. Yeah. And I would have been
exactly.
pretty happy with that, but that's not what happened.
Yeah.
Johnny,
I mean, you did make out with two decent picks at the end of the day.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't agree with the
value.
Make them win. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I think that's what a lot of people feel like. It's a decent pick. The value wasn't there.
So for this one, Gabe mentioned him is as part of his when he made his selection for biggest steal. And it's Zaven Collins for me. I wasn't expecting him at 16. At the time, me and Gabe got hyped because we're like, oh fuck, that means we get a chance at Jock or one of these other guys that like they passed on. But we ended up taking Leatherwood. But like we were all pretty surprised at that pick. Like, yeah, I didn't see. He was honestly like a back end first for me, early second. Like I did not see him going that high, especially as the second linebacker taken in this draft.
See, I'm going to piggyback on that and say the second and third linebacker surprised the fuck out of me. The Jamin Davis.
Oh, Jamin Davis.
out of where was he? I just
Kentucky.
Yeah, to the Washington football team, just for the sole fact that I felt like I had him later down, similar to what we're talking about with our pick. It was funny because it was at this pick where I'm like, oh shit, we're not the only ones that like messed up or didn't have someone on someone's board. And then Kadarius Toney went, and I'm like, oh my gosh, like either everybody's draft boards were messed up compared to NFL's, or B, like everyone's just pulling the Raiders right now. And it just seemed like the dominoes continue to fall where I was just like, oh my gosh, these like I had these guys nowhere where I thought they were gonna go. It was almost right after our pick. Everything before that, I was like, okay, I can kind of see that. You know, it's lining up. I think we were all like, this is where our draft. I think we stopped looking at our mock draft after that point. After the Raiders
pretty
pick,
much, yeah.
We were just like, oh fuck that.
There was no point.
This is too difficult. Like this is But I agree with you, Johnny. That is definitely one that solid pick, but I didn't see him there.
Can I mention another surprise? Just real quick, just to bring like Aaron Rodgers into this
Of course.
discussion.
Yeah.
You know, our boy's unhappy in Green Bay. So what do? You go get a corner. And that surprised me a bit, man. Like, I was like, why do you, like all this shit? Like, it came out draft day too, of all days. Like, this shit leaks on draft day that he wants out. And instead of, last year you fucked up because you didn't give him any weapons. So what do you do this year? You don't get him any weapons.
Yeah, you go corner, center. But in the third round, I will admit, I think they personally got a steal in Amari Rodgers.
Yeah.
But I agree with you. In the first round, you don't get somebody. I have to believe that somebody went that they wanted. And it could have been Rashad Bateman, almost like 2 spots ahead of them.
But I'm like, that's still Elijah Moore, Rondale Moore.
I know.
Like, man, like they need a slot guy.
Even Dwayne Eskridge, a Terrace Marshall, like just so many.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that one was like
just a total like
threw me out. Yeah, it's like that's like the last fuck you. Like, yeah, this is what we're doing.
Can we add salt to the wound and say that all the reports that like in the past 2 drafts, most of the QBs that had like a solidified starting job were told they were getting drafted a QB underneath them, except for Aaron Rodgers. Niners did it. Like all the first 3 got told. Like I think even Carson Wentz was told. Like everyone was told, hey, we're going to draft a QB. And most of them were cool with it. Aaron Rodgers was the only one that didn't. He didn't get told.
That's fucking rough.
I'm like, damn.
He's coming to the Niners. I'm telling you. He's going to be a Niner.
Nah, more. The Niners offered I heard a pretty big package deal, and they didn't take it.
Ooh.
He's going to take it. He'll take it.
No, it's too late now. It was the number 3 pick.
Oh, no. He'll take it.
Well, I heard Rodgers is going to retire if they don't trade him.
Yeah, he's doing Jeopardy.
Yeah. What was the other thing? And then did you guys hear that other report that came out that they wanted Justin Jefferson last year? And obviously the Vikings took him. So then they like, I think they still traded up in that draft, right? Or were they picking at 24?
No, I think they traded up for.
Yeah, they traded up and they get, because they said they wanted Justin Jefferson and they see Ayuk go. So they're like, fuck it, let's get Jordan Love. I'm like, there's still guys there, I'm pretty sure. Like,
right. Oh goodness.
Yeah. Anyways.
Okay. Last question is: you have to be the president of any one of these draft players' fan club. Who is it? Who are you dying on the hill? Who's your number 1 favorite? It doesn't need to be who's your top prospect. Who is your favorite player in this draft?
Do you have to ask?
I do have to ask. You don't have to answer.
It's your boy. It's your boy, Jalen Waddle.
Oh, is that the one that
my boy. He came out dripping with swag. just dripping with it. That big fucking chain around his neck, and that he was wearing that baller suit, and he goes to Miami. Never seen this man play a day in his life, and I can already tell you, I'm like, I am going to be a big fan of this man.
And he ignored his family.
I was a
Did
wall,
you
right?
see that? Yeah, did you see that? He's just sitting
No,
there.
I didn't.
He's sitting there. They announce his pick. His family's like, they're like recording him on their phones and they're cheering. He just gets up and walks away.
Like,
Dope.
just beelines to the stage.
I can't say I blame him. I mean, like, honestly, you do a lot of stupid shit when you're at the most high adrenaline point in your life. I can't really hold it over a fucking 22-year-old kid.
Well, I messaged because Jaime messaged me the video on Instagram, and I DM'd him back. He was like, the whole night, his cousin's like, "Yo, where are we going? Where are we going?" And he got picked. He's like, "We? There ain't no we in this situation."
Yeah,
It's a
I'm
me.
going to Miami. Fuck you.
Dipped out. They're all like, "Yo, what we buying? What we doing? We just gotta go celebrate." He's all, "This is a lot of we's, and I ain't about it. Let's leave."
Yeah. But yeah, I think you guys can see that one coming. The man's dripping with swag, and if there's one thing I love, it's a man with swag. If there's a big personality, I'm right there for it.
I wonder if he had a girl, if he's like
Is
with
that-
somebody. And because who was the draft pick last year where she grabbed the phone and he quickly
That's
was a CD?
CD Lamb.
Oh,
Yeah.
He had two. He had like a work phone and then his phone or whatever. And then she like goes and grabs it. And he's like,
Yeah. He's just like, nope. I bet he was like, his girl's like, "Oh my gosh, I'm so excited to start this live." He's like, I had like 4 Instagram models already message me. Yeah.
yeah. Yep. It's like, bitch, I've been on TV for about 30 minutes now. I'm gonna need you to leave.
Scoot off screen.
Scooch.
For me, I can't really. I don't want to give my real one away because Brad drafts in front of me in the draft. In the second round, but I'm gonna say one that I loved him, not as a fantasy player. Like, I just don't think he's gonna have that much fantasy relevance, and it's Ramondre Stevens. And then he went to New England, and now I'm kind of intrigued, and I'll tell you why. Instantly, when I saw him, I thought, this is LeGarrette Blount 2.0. That's like my first immediate thing. I was like, I love this guy. He's like LeGarrette Blount. He probably won't have that much like fantasy relevancy, but I love the way he runs. And then he goes to the place that drafted LeGarrette Blount, or not drafted, because I think Tampa Bay did, but had the most success with LeGarrette Blount, and that was New England. And now I'm excited, because if they have to start Mac Jones at any point and get rid of Cam Newton, that man's a goal line target. That man is going to get the touchdowns, and I'm excited for him. I'm going to love him in the NFL. Kind of upset he went to New England, but honestly, I love it even more. That
New
man.
England's so dirty, though.
Oh, they are. They had a pick forfeited this year.
Wait, what?
Yeah, in the 3rd round.
What, did they fucking fall asleep or something? How the hell did that happen?
No, it was punishment for them filming
Oh,
the
stupid. Yeah.
2019 game of Cincinnati and Cleveland.
Yeah, dumb. Don't cheat. How many times have the Patriots been caught cheating?
Too many.
More than the
Too many.
Astros, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Just wanted to make sure.
When's the supplementary draft? Oh, that already happened, right?
no, it's like a little bit before the season usually.
Right? Okay.
Mhm.
Because you forfeit your picks for next year.
Yeah, if you want someone that's enters that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, mine, and I've been a fan of him all year. He was a candidate for steal of the draft, and it's Caleb Farley. Yep. Should have been, if he weren't for his injury concerns, probably the number 1 corner taken in this draft. He goes as the 3rd corner in this draft at 22, was it? In that area to the Tennessee Titans.
Yep, you're correct.
Yeah. So I just like, if you could ask Gabe, I'm just a big DB fan. Like, I love DBs. And he's like a ideal defensive back to me. Like, just 6'2", lengthy. He has speed. Like, I think he's gonna be a dog for Tennessee. Gabe's second team.
Gabe's second
Yeah.
team.
It is Gabe's second team.
It is Gabe's second team. Yeah.
Fucking love the Titans. I mean, I really hope he does well. That if there's one thing that team needs, it's a defense, secondary, pass rush, you
Yeah.
name it. But for me, the only issue I just did not like, I think I like him more now that he's not a Raider because we just don't do well with the whole like injured before training camp. And we've done it too many times now, like Gary Conley, Damon Arnett, I think even Kevin or Carl Joseph. I just hate it. I hate it with all the DBs. We get someone injured and they're supposed to be the steal of the draft. And so hopefully Tennessee does better. But man, when you miss a year, no football, no contact, and you need back surgery, oh, that scares me.
Yeah,
that does not sit well with me.
As we took a guy with back issues.
That is fair.
God, the Raiders really like fucking their fans.
But he didn't, well, because like the difference is Caleb had to have surgery relatively like recent.
Yeah, it was in March.
Yeah. Morik said he's clear.
Yeah, he's clear. But yeah,
I don't know if Farley is. That's the difference.
I guess the Titans weren't the only team that medically cleared Farley, so
okay.
He was still going to go shortly after that.
He's clear for activities.
I think where they think it's not going to be a concern later on.
Gotcha. Okay.
Like a long-term thing issue. Yeah. Is there any other picks you guys loved? Like not necessarily steals, but just like landing spots you guys loved for guys?
Terrace Marshall. I really liked. And Kyle Trask and Kellen Mond.
I was going to say Kellen Mond.
Yeah.
I love that.
I think both of those got like one gets to sit behind Kirk Cousins for a year. The other one gets to sit behind Tom fucking Brady.
Mm-hmm.
Like just both really solid ways to just relax and, just figure out the NFL.
And early on before his downfall, me and Gabe were big on Kyle Trask.
Mm-hmm.
Like he was going off, so we watched one of his games pretty early. It was when Kyle Pitts was injured.
Yeah.
And I think he went out for like 5 touchdowns in the first half or something. And
yeah,
me and Gabe were like, damn, this guy is like making every throw and everything. And then just fell off. Cause we were talking to him like potentially like a first round pick, like back end first.
It was like debating between him, Fields, and Wilson for like, because during that time, like Trey Lance was on nobody's radar. He like shut the bed on his one game. Like not to say he was on nobody's radar, but like no one was fighting him to be the second QB taken. You know what I mean? At that time, it was like, okay, is it going to be Zach Wilson? Is it going to be Kyle Trask? And then Justin Fields turned it on in like the playoffs in the late season. And I think it was like right when Kyle Trask started to just plummet.
Mm-hmm.
And then, but yeah, we really liked Kyle Trask. And then I think both of us really like fell in love with Kellen Mond.
Yeah. Yeah, he's a guy I thought I kept saying it. I thought a team was going to trade into the first for him. Because you kind of see it, not every year, but you see it a lot where like Teddy Bridgewater, for example, was a guy that the Vikings traded back into the first, like I think at the 30th pick and took him. So I thought it was going to be similar to that. And it's funny because it's the same team. I just like the Vikings.
Mm-hmm.
It's funny because I just looked up Kellen Mond. And I saw a thing where it's like Kellen Mond hates Minnesota. Yeah, and it was a tweet from 2016 saying Minnesota sucks as a state or something like that.
Shit.
I'm gonna go and just add one last one, and it's Michael Carter to the Jets. I loved Michael Carter. I'm not entirely sure if he can lead a backfield on his own, but that man is so explosive. He was one of the reasons why I thought, like him and Kenneth Gainwell, that I thought the Travis Etienne pick was so stupid. So I'm like, you could just get him later.
Yeah.
Why? Why?
I do think Travis Etienne would have went like in the first still.
Yeah. No, I
think he would have went back in.
I'm saying the Jags, if you have so many holes and you can have a similar, you know what I mean?
Yeah, similar play style.
Yeah, for like a way cheaper price, I would have done that. If you have no needs, take a teeny. When you have so many holes, take the bargain value.
Yeah, I could see it. I could see it now as like they want their quarterback to be comfortable. So what better way to make him comfortable than giving him his security blanket?
Yeah.
And then shout out to Jaime. Najee Harris to the Steelers was a perfect spot for him.
I don't really know a scenario that's like better than that than maybe the Jets.
Yeah,
I'm not sure if I would have liked it in Miami.
maybe the Falcons.
Maybe.
But yeah, like the Steelers were like Najee Harris on the Steelers is like just the perfect spot. It's like he's big boy. Like you think you get those Le'Veon Bell vibes. They have a pretty solid young receiving core.
I think a lot of people's issues, and I can kind of see it, is just the
Yeah,
run
the
block,
O-line.
the run
Yeah.
blocking O-line.
Yeah, I mean it's whatever. He's one of those big boys that will break through. He'll break a tackle and go all the way, kind of type of thing. It's gonna be like a like I'm not saying he's that kind of like that caliber of a player, but like Adrian Peterson, his rookie year, his first 2 years, he didn't really have a line. He was just like using his speed to get to the outside, breaking tackles left and right, and taking it all the way.
Yeah.
Same with Derrick Henry.
Yeah, a lot of people comp him to Derrick Henry. I'm not the body type, not at all, but I can definitely see where the comp comes in from.
Yeah. And I guess what team do you guys think improved the most within the offseason and in draft?
Oh man, that is a tough one.
I guess to make it easier, just who improved the most off the draft?
I love the Bears. I love the Bears draft personally. I just think they hit it home run with their first 2 picks. I'm trying to see who their 3rd round pick was. I don't even think they may not have had one. So, but yeah, the Chicago Bears, dude. Oh my gosh, to get Justin Fields and then Tevin Jenkins, I think right there you're just like you're looking at a really well improved team.
Bradley.
Yeah. They all sucked. They
did.
No. I don't know. Miami did okay, I guess. They got another receiver in the first. They got, what do they get, an edge rusher in the first as well for their second pick?
Yeah, Jalen Phillips.
Yeah. So their defense is going to be what, even nastier?
Yeah, and they still came back. They still came back and got Javon Holland. Which honestly, if they took Trayvon Moehrig right there, I would have gave him probably the best draft.
They got a lot of fucking picks this year, didn't they? How many did they get in the lower rounds?
Yeah, because then you look at Javon Holland, and then you look at we're still going Miami, right?
Yeah.
Liam Eichenberg, like, dude, they really made out this one. I agree with that one, Brad. That's a really good pick.
Yeah. For me, it's where was it? I had the list of who they took. For me, it is the Browns.
Browns.
They take Greg Newsome, who's a high-rated corner in the first. He's probably like an early second, but I mean, they had a back end first, so it made sense right there.
It was the 26th pick. That's about as second round as you can get.
And then they get Gabe Steele of the draft and Jock in the second round. And they still go out and get Anthony Schwartz, who's probably they were saying the fastest receiver in this draft. So, I mean, they improved the team. They needed another receiver, a third receiver for Baker, because it was just Jarvis and OBJ.
Yeah,
and OBJ's coming off that ACL, was it, or Achilles?
Some injury. Yeah, he was weird.
Yeah, so I mean, now they give him another weapon, a speedy guy. I know he was going to be compared to Tyreek, like just his play style. And they get like probably the second best linebacker prospect in this draft in Jock. So yeah, I think the Browns had a really good draft.
I want to change my answer now that actually we're able to kind of just look into it, and I'm going to go with the Jets.
Oh,
yeah, the Jets had a really good one too.
Really solid. I mean, you got Zach Wilson. You get Elijah Vera Tucker, my personal number one guard, because I had Rashawn Slater as the more of a tackle.
Mm-hmm.
Then you get Elijah Moore. I just saw the other pick that they got that was really good. And then you get Michael Carter. Just like home runs all over the place, personally, for me, just getting a lot of value in almost all of their picks. And so, yeah, that's the one. I think they actually, if I were to argue with your original question, I think they're the team that improved the most even before any of that happened by just getting rid of Adam Gase. That team was going to skyrocket. And then you add all these players.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was funny because I was just gonna come in with the sarcastic. The Niners did the best because our team's not injured anymore.
Yeah, that's how the Jets are. They don't have Adam Gase anymore.
The Falcons were a close one for me too.
Mm-hmm.
They get Kyle Pitts, Richie Grant, who's like the third, maybe even second safety rated in the draft. Jalen Mayfield at guard. Like that was a solid one. And then they get a corner. But yeah, just those first three picks are pretty solid for them. Because I know they lost Keanu Neal, I want to say. I don't think he might have not signed anywhere yet. But yeah, that was fun.
It was a fun day.
Yeah, fun day. Also confirmed, Raiders signed Casey Hayward.
Mm-hmm.
So that's good. That's fun.
Yeah.
Who's rapping?
I can. That will do it for another episode of a Mikeful podcast. Thank you for joining us this week. When I'm finally back, tune in next week. I should be back again, and we will be talking all things UFC, MLB, NBA, and even some more NFL questions as we prepare for the season. The summer can't come quick enough. And other than that, like us on Instagram, Twitter, where we give you updates on our episodes. Go follow us and listen on anywhere you get your podcast news, as well as YouTube, where we start posting all these live uncut footages of us recording, all the embarrassing before we record and things that just didn't get cut. Pretty funny. And we also like to go live there like we did for the draft. So definitely keep up with that and subscribe so you can see anytime we go live for any special events. And see you next time.
Bye.
There we go.
Now it's complete.
Now it's an episode.
You see my dad.